Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the I Don't Get It podcast.
Welcome.
Wake up. Do-do-do. All right, today's topic is kissing. You know why? Because that's where we ended off last week, talking about first kisses particularly and how awful I am at them. Not physically, but like...
I don't think anyone's really good. Like, hey, I'm really good at first kisses, you know?
I bet you some smooth-ass guys.
Yeah,
like
you
Nick
grab
Viall.
the back of her head and you pull her in. Yeah.
They know what they're doing. I'm sure guys are way better at it because they're the ones that are supposed to make the move. For us, we're supposed to wait for the move, which makes everything way more awkward.
I guess you're right.
That's what it is. So basically, to reiterate, I went on a really good date, or at least I thought it was really good. We'll see if anything ever really comes out of it. A week ago. And call it the killer of the center console, but there's something about when your date drops you off at home and then you have to like sit there awkwardly in the front seat being like, all right, am I going to grip the door handle and skedaddle out of here? Or
like, you also are probably also thinking, I wonder if they can't wait to get me out of their car. That's what I would think.
right. Like, I don't want to sit there and linger
If they
he's not
were
gonna
like, I
wanna
can't wait
kiss
for
me.
this girl to get out of here.
Right. So I always think it's just safe to leave and then like have the first kiss somewhere else. Am I wrong?
Well, if you actually want the kiss, then you might as well linger. You might as well.
All right, you guys know how I feel about this. I cannot confidently kiss someone if I have a huge boulder pimple on my face, and I happen to break out usually on my chin. So that pimple will be all up in their grill if I were going to go in for a kiss. So to eliminate that, I use BioClarity. Your face is no place for weird, harsh chemicals, so BioClarity uses naturally calming and cleansing extracts, including green tea and chamomile. BioClarity cools and soothes the skin with cucumber and oatmeal kernel extracts. This is awesome because my face is always red and inflamed, so this eliminates all that redness. Love it. It is 100% vegan and cruelty-free for all you animal lovers out there like me. It's a 3-step system. It cleanses, treats, and restores. It first comes with a foaming facial cleanser that removes dirt, oil, and environmental pollutants, and then it treats by penetrating pores and attacking bacteria to clear up your skin, and then use the restorative gel to leave your skin feeling smooth and refreshed. Let BioClarity help you get the confidence to kiss the guy of your dreams. So go to BioClarity.com. My listeners will get their first month for only $9.95. That is $9.95 plus free shipping. That is a $20 savings, and it comes with a 100% risk-free money-back guarantee. But you need to enter my code, and that code is GETIT, GETIT. That's BioClarity.com, and enter my code GETIT. Finally, an acne treatment that works without making my skin flake and red. Lauren never goes on dates. She goes on dates, and then that guy becomes her boyfriend.
Yeah. I go on dates and that guy becomes my boyfriend. That's usually what happens.
Yeah, so she doesn't like date. She like has gone on maybe like, I don't even think you've been on 3 proper dates in your life.
Let me think.
The cheater took you on a couple proper dates.
I've been on 3 probably.
Okay, but with how many guys?
3.
3 different guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so what, you consider your current bae?
Yeah.
That was a real
date that turned into a relationship.
Except you didn't even buy anything at the restaurant. You left the second I dropped you off.
We bought wine.
Oh, you did get a glass of wine? Okay, so we'll consider that a date.
Yeah.
Then there was the cheater date.
Cheater date with a full fucking dinner.
And then what, like prom?
And then the yucky guy who I gave a shot because I was really looking for a nice guy.
Oh my God, where she had the allergic reaction. If you don't remember this, you can go and listen to episode...
Was it 1?
The embarrassing story episode. The embarrassing
Did I talk
episode.
about that? I don't think I did.
Oh my God. Would you like to reiterate that for our audience here?
I was like, let me give this nice guy a chance, and he took me on like a real date, and I got fish tacos, and after finishing my fish tacos, I realized I was allergic to mango, and my lips were so swollen, it looked like Kris Kardashian in that episode where she got like a bee sting or whatever on her lip, but AK she got lip injections. And my eyes were so swollen. Both my eyelashes, like my falsies, were peeling off because they were so watery. They melted off my face.
Also, if you're puffy and your eyelids are expanding,
your eyelashes
pop
are
off.
like poop.
Yeah.
So then I texted Ashley, and I was like, dude, do I look puffy to you? He goes, yeah, I didn't really want to say anything. I didn't want to make you feel awkward. I go, I'm having a highly allergic reaction to this fucking fruit. So I texted Ashley and I was like, are you still at the mall? I need to run home. So that wasn't proper date too. So
Okay, you're right. 3 proper dates. And then once they become your boyfriend, which is basically immediately, then Lauren doesn't go on any dates.
I'm trying to think of any other proper dates.
So Lauren, and anyway, the bottom line is Lauren doesn't commiserate with me on this like going on a date and then when do you kiss sort of thing, which I know is a theme that we've been talking about a lot on the podcast. But this week, I really actually wanted to kiss the guy, but I was so used to darting out of the car that I just darted. And I don't know, what do I do? Am I supposed to like look at him and like bat my eyes or something?
Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah, and just like leave that pause and sound awkward for a sec.
Yeah, might as well. You have nothing to lose.
Oh,
You're already awkward all the time.
No, but that's the thing. When you aren't awkward, like I wasn't awkward a smidge bit.
Oh, a smidge
bit on that date. So I was like, I'm not going to ruin this by having an awkward moment now. So I'm going to like leave him with a good taste in his mouth. 0 pun intended. And then just leave. So I did. But like, I don't know. So
that first kisses. But do you remember your first kiss?
Yeah, Lauren. Should I reveal to the audience how embarrassing old I was?
Yes.
Okay, first.
I think I may have already accidentally revealed it.
Oh, really? Yeah. I was fucking 19 years old, you guys. How embarrassing is that?
It's okay.
I was at a burlesque club in New York City.
I think you already talked about this.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Okay, well, to reiterate to those who have not listened to that episode, burlesque club, I was 19. Our friend owned the place. This hairy rock star man, you know, he was in like an indie rock band. He like came over, started like grinding and thrusting his junk into me while like dirty dancing. And then he then proceeded to plunge his tongue into me too. My face. And you know, whatever.
Had to grab her.
It got it over with, and I cried afterward, surprise, because I was like, "That's not the way it's supposed to be." But then afterward, I just was thinking, you know, months later, I was like, "Well, I'm just glad that happened and got over with." And then I realized that he is pretty hot too, so it's a pretty good, you know, overall experience. I can never say that I didn't get accidentally kissed by an ugly guy.
Like, I'm not even sure how your first kiss would go if that didn't happen. Like, it would have been a lot.
It would have been a lot more awkward because it would have been with the second guy that I ever kissed.
Who was that?
That was Alan the Marine.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he was like a Marine Barbie doll. Like, he was something like out of a fantasy.
Out of Pearl Harbor.
Oh, he came straight out of Pearl Harbor. He looked, I'm not even kidding you guys. He looked, well, he was probably too pretty for me now, but he was like plastic Barbie doll.
He had really good taste. He discovered it before everyone else did.
Yeah. He liked me when I was a little awkward.
Yeah.
And I got really scared by him. I was like, wait, this Hawkeye likes me, must run away.
Also, he like put his hands on your pants a little too quickly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
like
I think that it was a little too quick too.
Wasn't he like grabbing my ass?
Yes, you were wearing a leotard and he couldn't gain access. I remember this.
Oh my God, I blocked that out.
Yeah, you were wearing a leotard.
Right, he was within 5 minutes of making out. He goes, "Does this like snap like at the bottom?" And I was like, no, and that's a good thing. And then he said, "Why?" And I was like, "Because you're not gonna get in there right now."
Yeah, like even your fingers ain't getting in there, Mr. Dirty.
No, on the second day I've ever knew him. No, God, college. Anyway, so Lauren's first kiss story is actually quite epic because it was with her celeb crush.
Celeb crush, if you want to call him a celeb. I think I may have said this one
I think you may have said this too.
I did.
God, we were already running out of things to talk about.
Ooh.
Well, Lauren's first kiss was her celebrity crush. She was 16. She almost barfed beforehand. Surprisingly, she didn't barf in his mouth. And
it's just like when you're thinking of what a kiss is going to be like and then it's actually happening, you're just like, this is the moment I've been thinking about for 16 years.
Right. How did you practice? Did you used to practice on your hand or your arm or something?
I think I just watched a lot of movies.
I remember in between like my first couple kisses and then like a dry spell, I was like, I need to like practice on my arm or something.
I mean, you can't really fuck it up unless you're like darting in and out.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even think about using tongue at that point.
My like long-term misogynistic boyfriend darted in and out, and I just like chose to not even acknowledge
Lauren,
it.
That's disgusting.
Like, but then swirly twirlies.
How did you like live like that for 2 years?
I don't know. I must have been really fucked up.
I don't understand tongue that much. Like, I like a little bit in there. I've learned to appreciate with age. A little goes a long way. But I don't understand, like, where the tongue becomes the predominant actor in the kiss.
The dominant.
The dominant actor.
Yeah.
You know? Like, the main cake. No, I don't get that. It's all about the lips. That's where the nerve endings are.
It depends on who you're with.
Really?
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I have a kiss count. It's funny. I have this. I'm embarrassing because most girls.
Like, what's your number?
Most girls have a what's your number. You know how many guys you've slept with. I have a list of guys.
A kiss count.
Of guys I've made out with. I'm at 23 now. I remember reading
so
something
crazy
in Cosmopolitan,
this.
or I was like Cosmo or Glamour or something in high school, that the average girl kisses 22 guys before she finds the guy that she's going to marry. But I think that stat must have been taken in the 90s or something, because I'm telling you, I think that most girls like kiss 50 before now.
Isn't that crazy? You swap spit with 50 people.
Well, you've got to have been like, you've probably made out with at least 100 guys.
I don't know. I really don't.
What do you mean you don't know? Or you know you didn't? Or no, you don't know?
I don't know. I mean, if you have 23.
Exactly. I can't even believe I have 23.
I don't believe it at all, actually.
You can look at it. The list is on my phone. And the only
Do you
one...
add it right after it happens? Do you add it like right when you come home from a date?
No, I haven't added what's his name from like 6 weeks ago. And that's the only one on that list that I regret.
No, that's not true. Cruise boy.
Oh, there's a cruise boy. The one that almost raped me. That's right. I'm not even joking. That was sexual assault.
Yeah, it was bad. I felt bad for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was bad. I told Lauren. She walked in on us like making out, but he was like legit had like all his body weight on me, and I'm pretty sure it was just like I didn't know in the moment, but you know when you have like a moment where it was just like all a bit intense, and you're like, wait, I didn't even want that. So in hindsight, I was like, I think that was sexual assault.
Yeah, if you kept saying, "Could you get off of
stop?
me?
Like,
Could you stop?
Stop!
Yeah.
Ow! You're hurting me! Ow! That's too hard!"
Ugh.
And like all this stuff.
I feel so
and then
bad.
Lauren walked in the room, and I said, "Hey, Lauren." I was like, I looked at her with pleading eyes. I should have just vocalized it. Lauren, come in, help.
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought like if you were just looking at me, like you were like, this guy's kind of gross. Not like God help me, get off of me.
Yeah, shit. Oh well, that's dark. We didn't mean to take it to a dark place.
You know, sometimes dark things happen. Doesn't always have to be fluffy puppies.
You're right. So there's 2 guys on that list that I regret. How many do you regret? Do you regret any?
Half of them. Probably half of them.
What's the most you've made out with one person in one day?
Wait, what do you mean?
How many guys at your high school parties you'd make out with 3 guys in one night?
Yeah,
a little sloshy.
Maybe 3.
Gross.
We don't need to speak about that.
All right. Anyway, let's take a break and talk about something that can help you see whoever you're dating a little bit better. Hubble contacts. So I don't know about you, but if you're like me, I wear my contacts sometimes to the point where they split in my eye, and I think that's probably a bad sign. Are you tired of overpaying for uncomfortable contact lenses that sometimes split in your eye like me? Or do you overwear your contact lenses to save money? Also guilty. Well, what if I told you that you can get a fresh pair of lenses for every single day for less? 60 contacts for $30. Do the math. That's $1 a day. I think you can spare that. This is half the price of other brands. Go to HubbleContacts.com to get your first 2 weeks for free. They are quality daily lenses for half the price of the other guys. Getting contacts have never been this convenient and affordable. No more overpaying, no more overwearing, and they've been featured in reliable magazines such as Vogue, GQ, TechCrunch, Mashable. I trust it if it's in Vogue, right? So go to HubbleContacts.com to get your first 2 weeks of lenses for free. That is 15 pairs for free. You really can't beat this deal. Hubble is offering my listeners 2 weeks of free contacts. So go to HubbleContacts.com and get 20/20 vision for half the price. That's Hubble, HUBBLE contacts.com. We are going to be joined by somebody who's well known on TV for kissing, whether that is taking a long time to kiss someone, or
Kissing a lot.
kissing 3 people in one day.
And the Nick Viall voice,
It's
three
not
people in
Nick
one day.
Viall, but
No.
it is
And
Wells Adams.
Wells
who
Adams.
does a great Nick Viall impersonation.
Well, let's welcome him on.
All right, you guys ready for this?
Edgar says, Wells.
All right, let's get Wells on the line. All right, Wells. Well, welcome to the I Don't Get It podcast. Have you ever even listened to one of my podcasts?
I listened to the first one, I have to be honest with you.
You did, and then you stopped because we didn't hook you?
I can't remember the exact reason as to why I thought it was good. I did think it was good.
Thanks. I mean, it was rough. It was the first one.
I also think that, like, I'm probably not your core demo. You're speaking to a lot of, like, women who are also, like, trying to figure out what is going on with, like, their love life. And it was kind of hard for me to relate, if that makes any sense.
It does make sense. You're more apt for that Jared podcast that he wants to come up with, where the guys give the girls the actual knowledge that they need.
Yeah, I know. Jared and I talked about it, actually, and it's a good idea.
It's a really good idea. All right, well, let's get on to the topic. So, long story short, every week is kind of like Seinfeld or Sex and the City, where something happens during the week, and then I'm like, oh, well, that's a theme because I have a lot to say about that, and I wouldn't have even thought about it had this experience not happened. So I was on a really good first date with a guy that I've, like, known for a little bit. And at the end of the night, totally thrown off because he didn't kiss me, and it was that awkward center console got in the way, but, like, he only went he did not go the full 90-10, you know, like in Hitch, we're taught as women that we only go 10% and he has to go 90. Right? Is this correct? Is this accurate? You think that we should live by this rule?
I've never heard of it, but I understand what you're saying. Wait, hold on though. But when he went to, like, embrace you goodbye, did he kiss you on the cheek?
No. Okay, so get this. It was also awkward that, like, I guess I'm so used to just bolting because I don't want to touch the guy at all that, like, I am all prepared with my hand on the doorknob ready to go. And I just kind of said, all right, well, that was fun. Good night. And, like, bolted. And we didn't even hug. I mean, that's probably a horrible sign, but.
Well, so you made it kind of awkward for him. Like, you didn't give him.
Did.
Yeah, you got to give him. I will say, like, the 90-10, but you got to give him the 10% of, like, the doe eyes, or, like, the, you know, you need the awkward pause
for
a couple seconds for the guy to make the move in for the kiss, you know?
All right, thank you. This is what everybody is telling me. They're like, you didn't give him the pause, like, you bolted, and he needs that beat where he just has to, like, look at you awkwardly. You apparently need to embrace that awkward moment beforehand, right?
I think you do. I think you have to see, like, you freaked out, but I think you have to embrace it. And because, I don't know, the great like, moments of your life happen in those, like, really weird, awkward moments anyways. So I think that you have to, do that. But also, like, I don't think it's super weird that he didn't kiss you on the first date. I mean, I never like to make out with someone on the first date.
I wouldn't normally either. It's just because I've known him for a while, even though that was the first real date.
Have you guys, like, drunkenly made out beforehand?
No. I hadn't seen him in months, but there was, like, the smallest bit of flirtation, like, in early fall. So it wasn't a stranger. It wasn't in that sense.
Does he know this podcast exists?
The amount of shit talking I do on guys and all their date mistakes is unbelievable. Yeah, he knows the podcast exists. I highly doubt he'll listen. And if he does, then whatever. Then he gets, you know, the info he needs from it.
That's true. I mean, I feel like he should listen to this one so he knows that, like, you are game for a makeout sesh date too.
So speaking of hesitation, even though I know why you didn't kiss JoJo right away, the listening audience needs to know your explanation.
Wait, hold on. Why do you think I didn't kiss JoJo right away?
I'm pretty sure you told me this on your first date. You were just like, I just wouldn't have normally kissed someone when they were, like, on a group date with 10 other guys and they were all sharing her. I just wanted to wait until my one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, like group dates in that world, I think the word date in it is misleading. It's like it's like a community hangout really than a
Totally.
date, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, I was like the king of the freaking group date. I went on every single group date save one, and the reason why I didn't go on that one is because I went on the one the day beforehand. So I always just kind of like assumed the group date time was to like get to know the person a little bit better, and then like the one-on-one time was when I could like make out with her. So I guess I played that wrong, but I don't know. That's just,
I don't think you played that wrong at all. I don't think it's normal to be kissing someone when, 10 minutes earlier they were kissing somebody else. Like, that's bizarre. How many like bachelor family germs are in, like, all of us have had, we've all kissed each other indirectly.
yeah, we're all like weird, like I not really Eskimo brothers and sisters, but like we're make-out Eskimo brothers and sisters for sure.
There's definitely...
It was so gross. It was so gross on my season. Everyone got sick because we were all making out with the same person and like vis-a-vis making out with each other, like in a roundabout way. And it was really funny because I got sick too, and I remember being so annoyed because I was like, I'm not even getting to make out with this person. I'm still getting sick. What's happening here? Like, at least you guys are reaping the benefit of getting to like play tonsil hockey with this smoke show, but over here, I'm just sick for like no good reason.
Oh my gosh. Well, we each have 1 degree of separation from somebody, that we've kissed, because I can't think of one person where there isn't a common denominator. Can you? Unless you go seasons back.
I mean, yeah, there's always a weird common denominator. I mean, like, yeah, and then like, well, I mean, shoot, like you and I made out in paradise, so that like puts me into like the Chris Soules world, right?
That puts you into the Chris Soules world. So that takes you a season back. So not only do you have from Ben's season, but you also have Chris Soules season, as I have JoJo season and I have Caitlin season.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh. Do you feel comfortable sharing your Danielle M story and how you dated her once?
I have known her for years. Like, we're in the same crew of friends. And we did go, we went on one date, but I don't even know if she would consider that a date. We went to see like a band play at this place called The Basement, and I think I thought that she wasn't like super into it. And I also like, because she's part of my crew, it was like, man, I don't know if I want to like make the crew weird and have that weird, so anyways, but she's like one of my closest friends in this town. When I found out she was going to be on the show, it was really funny and interesting because it was like, no, I can't escape this world.
Yeah, that's too weird. Well, for me personally, I couldn't imagine you guys together, so I think that's really weird that people ship it. I think that you guys are completely different.
Yeah, she's like a super sweet.
Have you made out with her since and added to your list?
I've never made out with Danielle Maltby. Never.
Okay.
Added to my list.
I have a list of 6 girls from that I know that you've made out with from the Bachelor family. Which I have 3 and you have 6. So you were the Bachelor in Paradise.
That's true. I went from not kissing anyone to kissing everyone.
How was it kissing multiple people in one night? Because there was one night where you kissed 3 girls, and it's a little weird to think that I shared you with them.
No, I kissed 2 girls in one night.
No, it was Shoshana, and then you went on to kiss Jamie, and then you kissed me all in the same night.
No.
Yeah, you came back from the Shoshana date.
Oh, no. Was it all the same?
It was all the same 12 hours. Gross.
I know. It's funny. Like I'll tell that story because it's funny. I remember. like you and I made out that first night, and then I went on the Jamie date. And there
was a rose ceremony in between, so we had two wonderful days together, Wells.
Yeah, I know. They were glorious. They were magical.
Yeah.
I remember producers were like, "Hey, this girl's going to come in and she wants to go on a date with you." And I was like, "That's all well and good, but I don't want to make out with anyone. Like I've reached my kiss quota.
Aww.
Like I think like I'm starting to feel like I'm the man whore here, and that makes me feel kind of awkward, and that's not really my style. And so I was very much like drawing a hard line, being like, I'm not going to do it. And then I remember she definitely like she came in for the kiss.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, all right, well, my rule didn't last very long.
So you were like, I might as well just do it a third time.
No, I only made out with her on the beach during the date.
Oh, Shoshana. Like, she also kind of went in for it too.
That's what I'm saying. The Shoshana went for it.
Oh, but what about Jamie? Did she go in for it too?
No, I mean, like, shoot, man, we were.
Oh, that's right. That was a peer pressure. That was a producer pressure one.
No, I mean, it was a really cool experience. Like, we went and jumped off the waterfall, and they didn't show up, but they brought this like big platter of like tacos out, and it was just like a very romantic setting, and like I felt okay with that. We had like a really good night. I felt okay with that one, but like I remember being like, I'm not making out with a third person. And then they even tried to get me to like steal Lauren away from Brett, and I was like, no way, dude, I'm done with all this. This needs to stop now.
That is craziness. They didn't show our first kiss the way it really was.
I know. I remember that.
I thought it was really cute the way it was. I don't know why they switched it up. So what happened, for all you listening, is that we were asking each other questions back and forth. And, you know, normally you wouldn't just be interviewing each other, but on The Bachelor, on dates, they really want us to cover certain topics. So we were asking each other questions back and forth. And I was like, well, I don't have any other questions. Do you have any questions for me? And then you said...
I said, you asked if I had any questions for you, and I said, yeah, I have one question. Is it okay if I kiss you?
Yeah, it was so cute. So cute.
And then I remember we made out like at the table, which by the way, like we're the only couple that's ever like gotten to eat on an actual date, right? Like that's like one of our big claims to fame. Right. And then I remember we got up and then we walked down the street to go get back in the cars, and we kissed again, like underneath the like the street lights.
Yeah,
I don't know if that wasn't
in there.
Yeah, but I remember that happening for sure.
I have a cute picture of that. It's so creepy that I have this. Naz sent it to me when I got home from Paradise because she had screenshot the camera, you know, the whatever they're called, where they, you know, the TVs that they have, the projectors. Yeah. So that's kind of cute. All right. So those were all great magical kiss stories. Do you have any nightmare kiss stories?
I'm trying to think.
I shared mine earlier in a podcast. It was just basically a tablespoon of saliva and a tongue all the way to my tonsils.
Yeah, like, okay, so I don't like it. Like, Ashley, you are a good kisser, but there are some people out there that like use their tongue as a spear, and that's kind of weird. Really weird. I don't know if you've ever come across a tongue spearer person.
I've never had a spearer.
Oh man, it's a weird. I'm not into that. I don't know, man. I've for the most part, like I'm now at an age where like most of the people that I make out with have like made out a few times, so they know like what they're doing.
All right. So other than the pointy tongue, there's just really not that much to be scared of.
Yeah. If you have a thin upper lip, that's never good.
God, that's horrible. I mean, hence, you know, my problem on The Bachelor kind of looked like I was making out with Chris's nose.
Yeah, sorry, my dog's now howling. Carl, stop it. Hey.
Carl also doesn't like thin upper lips.
Yeah, you're one of the few people that have met Carl, actually.
Oh, yeah, really? I'm one of the few people? You don't let Carl meet a lot of people?
I don't bring him around a lot, like, I don't know, Carl is... he's also very important to me, and like, how like you don't want to like introduce like your family or your parents to like someone you're dating because that means something.
Yeah.
That's the way that I feel with Carl. Like, you have to be kind of special in my life to like get to meet like my best friend,
Oh, well, that is really, really cute, and it makes me feel honored, but also Carl really didn't like me. He was pushing me off like every piece of furniture in your house.
Well, that's him liking you. He's just like he's very protective of me as well,
He's like, why are you touching Dad? Stop.
Exactly, yes.
All right, well, a couple more questions.
All right.
What's the best body part to kiss that's not your mouth? You personally.
Like if I'm doing it to someone else?
Or vice versa.
Or someone doing it to me?
Both ways.
I really like to. I think it's both. I really like to suck on like someone's earlobe or kiss on someone's earlobe, and then the same thing back too.
Okay. For all the ladies out there listening and fangirling over Wells.
Well, do you like that? I mean, I assume everyone's into that.
Yeah, I think everybody. I think that's pretty much probably 75% of people's second favorite place to be kissed. Right?
Yeah, that and like the neck is nice, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the story of your first kiss.
Oh, man. It was Maggie Finnegan in third grade.
Third grade doesn't count. That's like me counting my kindergarten crush.
I don't know.
My kindergarten kiss.
Me and Maggie Finnegan, we were pretty like scientific about it. We made a kissing chart. And we would chart every time we kissed.
Oh, okay, that counts. You're right.
Yeah, we made like a tally. It was a big thing. She was a cutie. But like my first like real makeout, I don't even I think it was Arletta Anderson in like 7th or 8th grade.
How can you not remember?
I don't know. Like I think like the ones that like I remember losing my virginity pretty vividly, but like the first kiss thing, I don't know, man. Yeah, I think it was Arletta Anderson. I think I copped a feel at Christina Saunders' like birthday party.
We're getting
like
first and last names here.
I don't know, but isn't that how you like identify your high school friends, by like first and last name when you're talking about them to like other high school friends?
Yeah, that's true. But so you took a break though between Megan and then 7th or 8th grade because you were like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
No, I think you're right. Like the Maggie Finnegan thing in third grade was just like pecking, and then I think I went through I started to go through puberty in like 7th grade and like really wanting to like do French kissing stuff. You
are the cutest kid. I like going back in your Instagram. If you guys go and look at Wells's Throwback Thursdays. He was like the hot kid in middle school. You know it.
Yeah, I was also the troublemaker too.
It's all over your face.
Yeah, I was always in trouble, man. Always.
You want to tell us the losing virginity story? Those are always really interesting to me since I haven't had that story yet.
Sure. Okay. It's really funny. It was a girl that lived down the street from me.
How old are you?
I am in high school. I'm maybe a junior in high school or a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
I think she was a year younger than me. This is the one time I won't say her full name.
Yeah, I
know. She lived down the street from me. And it's so like freaking Dawson's Creek style. Like I used to go I lived on a golf course and I'd walk like up the fairway and like sneak into her room at night and we would like make out and stuff. And then when I was in high school, I lived I lived like over the garage in the guest house for a couple years because my parents were going through a divorce. And I remember her coming over, and she had already lost her virginity.
Mm-hmm.
And then she took my V card. And I remember I freaked out afterwards and like took a shower. I was I was like sure I had AIDS at that point, you know? Like,
oh yeah, because that's what they're teaching you in school.
Oh yeah, I was like, she's pregnant and I have AIDS now, and this is great.
They really make AIDS seem like the scariest thing that could ever happen to you, which is probably a good thing. But definitely, like, you don't think about any other disease when you are learning about that stuff in health class. You're like, that's the worst.
And I really wish, like, looking back, I don't know if like younger, like high school kids listen to this show, but like I know this is gonna be crazy to say, especially if there's like some like 16-year-old guy listening. But I really wish I hadn't. I wish I had waited to like my next real serious girlfriend, because I remember it was like really, really important. It was a really important thing for her when we like, had sex the first time. And I wish I was able to be like, this is also my first time, And so, yeah, I regret like it being so cheap, if that makes any sense.
Oh, well, it was in 90s movie fashion, though. What a teen movie.
I know, man. Oh, dude, there was one. I remember I snuck over there and I was having like a slumber party, and all my freaking asshole friends walked down there after I had snuck into the room and started throwing rocks on her roof to wake her dad up. And I remember the dad woke up and I had to hide underneath the bed, and she had to be like, nothing's going on, Dad. And then I had to jump out the window and run away. It was crazy.
Oh my God. That's a great little add-on to the story. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. I'm lucky I didn't get like shot by that guy.
Seriously. So you just hid under the bed?
I don't even think so she had like her bed like kind of like up against like the side of the bed up against the wall, as I recall.
So you crawled as close to the corner as you could.
Yeah, I think I kind of rolled into the corner of the bed. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, totally. Very smart.
Yeah, I think that's what I did. Yeah. Or I might have gotten in the closet. I don't know, man. This, if you think about it now, it's 16 years ago.
Oh, you're so old.
I know. Thank you for reminding me.
You are very young looking, almost 33-year-old.
I know.
I texted Wells for the first time on his birthday, his 32nd birthday. What's funny, guys, is that how Samantha and Joe got in so much trouble during Paradise 1. I'm pretty sure there's not one Paradise couple that didn't talk beforehand this time around.
I remember you texting me, and I was like responding back, and you were like, we need to not talk so much. You were going to be like Samantha and Joe. And I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is, but okay.
Oh, that's so true. That is what you said. He was texting me. He was texting me like at 4:00 a.m. his time. And I was like, why is this guy up right now? And then I found out later it was your birthday. And that you had hung out with Carly earlier that night.
Yeah, I had hung out with Carly.
You were really getting in your Paradise like connections that day.
No, to be fair, like Carly and I, it was. Well, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do Paradise, so we went out. I'd met her like that weekend before, and then we went out, and it was a lot of like, should I do this? I'm not really familiar with the show, and I wasn't really familiar with who she was, and so yeah. But I was out late that night, and I remember you texting me, and I was like, who is this Kardashian wannabe texting me right now?
Wait, did you look me up once I texted you?
I was told by someone that you were interested in me beforehand.
Oh,
I don't remember who it was.
I'm pretty sure I was not spreading any rumors or anything, but I'm pretty sure that was Lindsay, the producer, who was texting me while you were still filming JoJo's season. And she was like, there's this guy, Wells, and I really think that you're going to like him a lot. And so then I looked you up and I was like, wait a second. I looked at all Reality Steve's contestants and all like the spoiler pictures he had, and I was like, that's the only guy I think is hot from this, aside from maybe Luke. I thought was hot too, but I was like, Wells is definitely most my type.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Lindsay left early. I remember Lindsay leaving early in my season to go start working on Paradise. And like the last thing
Right.
I remember her telling me was like, get ready for Mexico. And I was like, bitch, how do you know I'm not going to be engaged by then? Like, that was a very good, I remember being like, oh, okay, well, I have no shot at this. Good to know.
Yeah, Lindsay was already doing her Paradise scheming at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of Paradise, I do believe that you will do it again. If you had to pick, I'm not going to have you pick who you would like want to be with in Paradise this season, because that would be like a little too obvious. But if you had to pick between Danielle L, Christina, and Raven, who would you be going after?
I will say Christina in this answer. She's the only one that I think has like consistently looked like really good on TV. Like, and it's so funny because that's not her first language, and she like English isn't her first language, and she like is able to speak eloquently about like such a shitty situation she had like growing up. And I don't know, she's always like in Women Tell All, I thought everyone looked horrible, not in like looks,
Physical,
but
yeah.
like not physically, but like everyone just looked petty and bitter and you know, and like the only one that came across as like genuine and nice was Christina. So I would say Christina. She seems like she's got kind of like a lot of layers to her.
Okay, I think Christina's definitely going to be a favorite amongst the men in Paradise. And what about Liz? Because I feel like you and Liz could get along. I know you've met her.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we met when we were in Kansas City for the Jade and Tanner's like event thing. She seems cool enough. I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel bad for her because she got put into a crappy situation, and then she probably just didn't play things very well in terms of like, I don't know, her and Nick's situation. But I don't know. She seems nice enough. I'm not sure if she's like really my type though.
What's your type?
I like. You know what my type is.
I don't know.
I like brunette, big eyebrows, and I need someone to be like witty and funny and like can like, I don't know, check me on my shit, because I am, you know, better than most that like I am a loudmouth and I need to be kind of like put in check every once in a while.
Okay. Did you throw in big eyebrows there for me? Or
No,
do you just
I
happen
haven't.
to like big eyebrows?
I love big eyebrows.
Wow,
like,
that's so crazy.
like Lily Collins.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a weird thing, but I'm like super into it.
I had no idea. I would have felt great when you walked into Paradise had I known that.
I know. Yeah. You should have texted me that at 4 a.m. on my birthday last year, and I would have told you.
I would have said, I have big eyebrows. We'll get along splendidly. Well, the thing is, I used to get super bullied during middle school for my huge eyebrows, but who would have known that it would have been a signature look and that my brows would be on fleek in 2017 and that Wells would think that they were hot.
Yeah, there you go. I got big eyebrows. Carl the Bloodhound has big eyebrows. I think it's a good thing.
Okay, Wells, we share all our embarrassing and awkward dating stories here on the I Don't Get It podcast. Do you have an awkward or just hilariously odd, offbeat dating story that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I've got two.
Okay. You could tell both. We got time.
Okay. So the first one was, this is a girl I was dating for like a long, long time before I ever went on TV. And we were driving to her parents' house for Thanksgiving, and which was like in Missouri, really far away. So we stopped at a gas station, and she was like well endowed in the chest region. Mm-hmm. She had big boobs. Yeah. So she came out of the gas station and got back in the car, and she's like, the weirdest thing just happened. This woman in the gas station bathroom commented on how great my boobs looked, and she was like, I feel really uncomfortable. And I was like, weird about that. I think that's great, like she's giving you a compliment. And I was like, guys do that all the time in the men's bathroom. And so she was like, wait, they compliment, what do they compliment? And I was like, when you go to the urinal, they'll like look over the medium and be like, oh, and she'll be like, they'll say like nice dick.
Wait, you're totally joking, right?
See, this is why I love this story.
Okay.
So she's like, when they say like nice dick, and I'm like, no, they actually comment more on your balls, because like when you're on like a long road trip, you'll pull out your balls too to like air them out a little bit.
You've got to be joking me.
And and she was like, that's the weirdest thing in the world. And I was like, yeah, I know. So it's like not that big of a deal that she was like saying that your boobs looked great. Like that's better than like you have great balls. And so like that was the end of the conversation. And then like fast forward like a couple, maybe like a year or two, we were at like a Christmas dinner with their family, and her dad was like having a conversation with the whole family, and I remember my ex was like, all right, yeah, that's weird, but it's not half as weird as guys pulling their balls out at the gas station to air them out.
Oh, my gosh.
And so, of course, the dad's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I realized that I had forgotten to tell her that I was messing with the entire time. And then all of a sudden I had to like explain, because then my girlfriend at the time was like, Wells pulls out his ball.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
So I had to tell the dad, I'd be like, I was just messing. I was like making this story up. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, so that's really funny.
I think my dad would have appreciated that story. I think my dad would have gotten a kick out of that. That's the kind of thing he'd make up, but then say, never tell your mother that I said that.
Yeah, I just made the mistake of like not being like, oh, I'm kidding. I kind of like I lived with it for a while. Like I wanted like to let the joke set in, and then I just think I forgot about it, and then she just obviously never forgot about it. So that's a good rule of thumb to all the guys listening out there. Women never forget anything, especially crazy, weird ball stories. The second one is the one that just happened to me this weekend. I have like we do like game night at my house. We play like board games and stuff. Mm-hmm. And the girl that I have been talking to a little bit came over, and you know the game. It's like, I think it's called Speak Out. It's like that you put that finger out and then you can't really talk. Yeah. So we were all playing, and so we start doing it. And the girl that I had been talking to would not.
Now it's past tense. You were talking to her.
Yes, that was. I'm glad that you picked up on that.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't do it, and and the reason why she wouldn't do it is because she was like, I'm gonna look stupid. I'm gonna look like it's obviously, it doesn't make you look good. It makes you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the most unattractive thing I've ever seen, that she wouldn't like take herself not too seriously and just have fun with it.
That is such a turnoff. I can't stand it when girls are like that. Guys hate it. If there's one thing I know that I should make fun of myself in front of guys and just be as weird as you naturally are.
Totally. I don't know. Like it was so aggravating to me that she didn't want to play. So anyways, that you're right in picking up the past tense thing, because that was not cool.
Huh.
So anyways, I don't know, I feel like that's a good, like, I don't get it story.
Yeah. Well, I want to go back to what you were just talking about balls and guys looking at each other's packages. In the Bachelor house, a lot of the guys are super open about walking around and showering and stuff in front of each other. Is there anybody that you'd like to give a compliment towards?
I never found that to be true. Your statement right there. I don't ever remember guys walking around with their cock and balls swinging freely.
Oh, really? Because Caitlin's season was apparently very open with it. It's like a locker room.
Yeah, okay. That was not the case. And I also lived in the master, so that means we all had the big bathroom. I never saw that. But I did have I ever told you I'm sure I did, the Doo-Doo Bandit story?
Yes, you certainly have. I don't remember the specifics, but I do know that I've heard the title of the story before.
Yeah, so like on my season, we weren't walking around showing off our Wang Chung, but there was a weird thing that happened where, and I was the discoverer of the Doo-Doo Bandits. So I remember waking up one
Please
morning
don't tell me
really
this
early.
has something to do with somebody not flushing.
Yes, it does.
Oh, gross.
Should I not tell a story?
No, please do.
So I remember waking up one morning early in the mansion, and because I was doing morning shows a lot then, so I was the guy that was like up at like 6 in the morning every day in the mansion.
Gross.
So I know. So I remember getting up and I went to go to the bathroom, and it was weird because like the toilet, not the seat, but the lid was down, which is a weird thing in a house full of 26 dudes sleeping, or 18, whatever it was, and so I was like, wow, that's weird. So I remember lifting up the toilet seat, and there was a huge log in there.
Ew.
But the weird thing is that there was no toilet paper, like, in the water.
Oh, God, I'm going to barf. Yes.
And so I remember thinking to myself...
Oh, no, seriously, I'll start dry heaving. Continue.
I remember thinking to myself, all right, there's someone here that is he's did one of two things. One, he pooped and then he like doesn't wipe his own ass, which that's weird. And he's just walking around with like swamp butt all day.
Ew.
Or this person he dropped a load and then like duck walked over to the other bathroom that you remember the mansion. It was like, I mean, it was like a 30-yard walk.
Yeah.
Either way, it was super weird. And I was like, there's some guy here that's like not wiping his ass, like trying to mess with all the guys in the master bathroom. And every new place we traveled to, so we went to Pennsylvania, or we went to Pittsburgh next. And so someone would come across a doo-doo with no toilet paper, and then in Uruguay, and then in Argentina. So there was there was some doo-doo bandit that was just like terrorizing us, and we never could figure out who it was. And like I, for one, kind of thought it was like a Princess Bride, Dread Pirate Robert situation, where like there would be like someone who would like not get a rose ceremony, and then like pass it on like last second, like in a hug goodbye, being like, "Hey, I'm the doo-doo bandit. Like, avenge me. Keep doing it." Because like it kept happening. Like. Unless it was like Jordan or like, you know, someone that like went really far, which I can't imagine that. I mean, maybe it was JoJo for all I know, and she was like sneaking in and doo-doo banditing us. But anyways, that was the weird story.
Was it the same looking poop each time?
I don't remember that. I just remember that there were poops with no toilet paper in the water. It was just very weird. Weird.
It obviously became a joke for whoever was taking the dump.
Yes, like it became a thing. Like
okay.
I think that like I also like I probably had a hand in like creating the Doo-Doo Bandit because
totally.
I would tell the story so like energetically that like it became a funny thing that we would talk about. And then I'm sure here's what I really think happened. I think someone went doo-doos and then they got right into the shower. But like I don't roll that way.
Oh no, that is repulsive. You do not get clean that way.
Exactly. I think that's how it started. Like that was the genesis of it, and then someone started just doo-doo banditing it for fun.
Do you know who I bet you it was? I bet you it was producer Todd. One, I know Todd poops. Todd poops twice a day. He's like pretty open with me. During our first meeting in the hotel before my first season of The Bachelor, I asked him, I go, how many bathrooms are there in the mansion? And is there a way that I can get privacy when I have to, you know, go poop? And he was like, oh yeah, don't worry, there are certain bathrooms that are more private than others. And then he just like went on about his whole daily pooping, just like his life. And he gets very excited when he poops. He feels very accomplished. He's the kind of guy that would wear a shirt that said, I pooped today, yay.
I think that's good. I think we need to embrace our BMs, guys.
I'm going to share a little bit of a story that, oh God, if she were to ever hear this, and it's going to get out there, but I think it's worth it. I'm just going to, yeah. Okay. Britt, you know, Britt of Caitlin and Britt, the dual bachelorettes,
Yeah.
Brit of my Crystal season. She was notorious in our house for being really open about bathroom stuff. So there was like one time where Jade was brushing her teeth and she just popped right next to her and started shitting
Oh my God.
while she was not even 2 feet away from her, brushing her teeth. How disgusting is that? And then there were other times where she'd be in the bedroom and she'd be totally naked. And then she'd pull a tampon out right in the bedroom in front of a girl.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's it.
You took it to a different level.
I know. That really turns every guy off from Britt. If the guys had known that, the vote would be in 100% Caitlin's favor. But Britt is a super great girl. She's just also a hippie. So I guess that's normal in hippie culture.
Well, I'm sure. I wonder if Brady knew this, because didn't Brady like follow her?
Yeah. Well, you're friends with Brady now. You should ask him sometime if
Hey,
she was really
Brady.
open with tampon use.
Hey, Brady, you ever be brushing your teeth and then all of a sudden she just started taking a crap in front of you? Has that ever happened?
Oh my God, I can't brush my teeth if somebody took a poop in that bathroom within an hour of me brushing my teeth. There's just something about that just disgusts me.
I know. Hey, I'll tell you this. So a lot of people don't realize this, but in Paradise, Evan, for whatever reason, was the king of Paradise, and he had his own suite, which meant he had his own bathroom. And I made like an alliance with Evan that I could use just his bathroom because he had his own like master bath in Paradise.
Yeah, I never saw this secret corridor he had. Where was it?
You remember when we would get lined up to go do rose ceremony and we'd all be like in one long big line?
You mean before we'd head over to the other side of campus?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like we had just gotten finished dressing. Remember they'd line us up and we had to wait for a long time.
Yeah, you're making me nervous just talking about this.
Oh, sorry. But you remember what I'm talking about,
Yes,
right? Like you're
yes.
on the steps waiting to walk down.
Yeah.
It was like that. So if you were looking at the ocean on the steps, it was a corridor to the right. Everyone that's listening is like, I don't give a shit about.
Oh
what they're
yeah,
talking about,
they don't need these details, but that's where it was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was fun.
you and Evan shared your own poop toilet. Basically.
Yeah, I think Evan was like really strongly trying to get me to come to Mexico, and I really didn't want to do it.
Yes, I know.
And I remember being like, dude, if I come, like, you gotta have my back. And I remember getting there, and I was like, Evan, I'm here. Like, your buddy showed up because Evan and I are good buds. And I was like, I'm going to need something from you. And he's like, name it, anything you need. And I was like, I need access to your sweet bathroom.
That's awesome. That is actually the exact thing I would ask for. It's such a concern while you're there because there's no privacy, you guys listening. You don't even know. There's basically like a curtain that gives you a little bit of privacy when you go to the bathroom, but there's no ceiling, so you can hear plops. And if somebody has diarrhea, forget about it. It's super embarrassing.
And there's crabs everywhere, like judging you. Oh, my God.
Oh, well, we have certainly gotten off the kissing topic.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you, Wells, for joining us. This was great. This is so good.
Are you surprised that our conversation moved to duty talk at the end of it?
Not really. It's really ironic because the last episode of the I Don't Get It podcast was all about farting and pooping in relationships and whether or not you're an advocate of that. Are you, Wells?
You know, it's funny. I don't know if I probably farted in front of ex-girlfriends collectively 3 times in my life.
Okay. That's good.
I'm a big proponent of the fart walk, where I
remember this in Paradise. You were open that you were doing a little a wafting away.
Yeah, so I'm super like cordial in the fact that I'm walking away from everyone and farting, but also I'm letting everyone know that it's happening. So I think I'm a big honesty is the best policy situation. So I think it's totally fine to fart in front of people, but I think that you should give them the common courtesy of like just walking away from them.
All right. So my theory is that if you really are bloated and you had too much dairy, you know, you had really like a quesadilla or something, beans, Mexican, whatever, and you just cannot keep it in throughout the night, go to the other couch, put a blanket on top of of yourself, and then just say like, just don't come over here. I just need to stay under this blanket for a while.
So you're just Dutch ovening yourself over there? Inside the room?
Exactly. Yes.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, way to take this from romantic to disgusting, but people love it all. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, in LA. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Talk to
All
you
right,
later.
Ash.
Thank you, Els.
Miss ya, love ya. Carl just yelled
just
and
said
said goodbye
bye.
as well. Yeah.
All right. Well, miss you, love you. Bye, Carl.
See ya, Ash.
See ya.
I don't get it.
Podcast.